kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. It's your chance to be ruthless. It's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me make it, they don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I won't get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown.
Hello. Good morning, my beautiful people. So, there's a few things here. Hopefully more people are going to come through here. All right. So, this is Benjamin Ritchie in Indiana. He's been on death row since he was 20. So, he has a death warrant coming up May 20th. And what he did is he unalived a police officer. However, I have seen him all over the internet before, okay? And we're going to watch, you guys, this is funny. We're going to watch also girls from overseas that fall in love with him, okay? We're going to watch one of the girls, okay? Just little clips. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but this one's from Sweden. And we're going to look at that. We're going to watch a Clemency hearing. And then him doing interviews. This guy named Trevor something, I think he's from the UK. He does a lot of interviews with people that are on death row. So yeah, there's that. And a few other announcements here. Hold on, let me get his face out of there. All right. So remember, you people, I told you if I have questions, I'm going to go to the source. Well, you know, Letitia is no longer in Kansas. She's in Colorado, right? When did I do that live, you guys? Monday, Sunday, Monday? No. What is the day? I don't know. I'm sorry. I reached out to Letitia, okay, because that's what I do. And she reached back to me. So I'll get to that at another time, okay, because I got to respond to her yet because I have questions. So she did reply back to me. And yesterday, I finally got the FOIA, the new FOIAs, people, up until, up until the 12th. Yeah, from the end of March until now. So that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. Okay, so right now we're gonna watch. You know what? Maybe we'll do this first. Let's watch a little bit of Daniel on shows, TV shows. I got him all queued up, ready to go, and then we'll go to his clemency hearing. All right, here we go, people. Oh no, work, 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 work. Okay, for fair use, I have to pause it, people. Hey, hi, how you doing? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is Benjamin Ritchie. He's being interviewed by this Trevor guy. Um, you know what? Let me share the link to this before I forget. So this guy goes to all different prisons to people on death row and people in supermax prisons. He's a guy from the UK. So I'm just showing this so you kind of get an idea. Now, what I find is interesting down the road, um, Benjamin says that he did not unalive that cop. He only bought the gun. Down the road. I mean, this was years ago, people. Okay. But I just want to give you an idea instead of me. Just a tiny bit of Benjamin. I'll call him Ben. So now we're going to watch this clemency hearing, and then we're going to watch the Mimbos from overseas that contact this guy. And it's funny because he's got more than one. And this is, yeah, yeah, that's just the way it is in prison, right? Okay, here we go. We're going to watch his clemency hearing. It was 2 days ago. I know, ain't that cool? I think it's cool to have animals. Okay, why isn't this going? Hold on, people. I just, I don't ever have patience. Oh, here we go. Okay, any minute, any minute. I'll calm down. So yeah, also, so we're gonna watch his Swedish girlfriend. Okay, we're gonna watch that one because there's more than one. But this girl, everybody wanted to interview her.
My name is Gwen Ward. I serve as the chair of Indiana Board, along with my fellow members. We're here today for your petition for clemency. Could you, for the record, state your name, your DOC number?
Yes, ma'am. Benjamin Ritchie, 967072.
Thank you. For the record, you did get notice of this hearing and you're prepared.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So we are here as the fact-finding commission, if you would,
Yeah.
for the government law. We make ultimately a non-binding recommendation to. Ultimately, it's his decision on what he decides in regards to your petition for clemency, in regards to your ask for a computation of sentence of in which you were convicted of murder on October 15th of 2002 today. Having said all that, we really are here wanting to hear from you. To know what you want us to know, ultimately. We're going to have questions for you, for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
But this is your opportunity to share whatever it is. Nothing is minute as to what you want to make sure we hear and take in terms of our decision.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to give a lot of leeway in how you want this to go, but I really want to emphasize that it's important for me. I mean, I can read all of this, but you're an eyewitness saw. And so, as I think back to that September 29th, that Friday night in 2000, from my perspective, the train had already left the station, if you will. But if you could share just in how you felt it all came about to that day, that night, at that 7:30, your decision-making that ultimately lost a life. So I'm going to shut up and we'll hear.
Well, that night was like you said, it was a train that left the station with no brakes. And multiple bad decisions led to losing the life of a man who should be here today with the horrible actions that I took that night. And there's not, I was just a kid, just been on blowing his own life up and everybody else's life around me. I didn't care about myself. I didn't care about anybody but my, nothing. And I fairly accomplished that mission. I ruined my life and other people's lives. And I'm so sorry for that night. If I could go back and just shake that kid, because he wouldn't have listened to nobody, and tell him, you're about to really screw things up here, man. You're about to go somewhere you can't fix. You can't take back what you did. And there's not a night that doesn't go by. That night doesn't haunt me, I think about it all the time. It doesn't go away. When you take someone's life, it don't go away. It's always there. And only thing I can do now in prison is not repeat that mistake, And in 25 years, I've never touched an officer. I've said things, people always say things, I don't ever want to repeat and have another family feel that pain that I caused that other family to feel. I never wanted to repeat that action again. And in 25 years, it's been tough. It's been tough. I've had to cover myself with tattoos and blend in because I live in a land of predators. And if you look different, you will become prey. So sometimes I've had to act and portray something I am that I'm not, just to blend in. And I've lost my way sometimes, it's tough. It's tough portraying something for 25 years and not get caught, because if they catch you, they think you're full of crap, they're gonna do something to you. And it's been a tough 25 years. And only thing I could say is I wish I could go back to the day in court, because that man's wife deserved to say everything she needed to say to me. And that punk kid just kept his mouth shut and let her say whatever she needed to say, because that was her right. It was his family's right. I had no business mouthing off to that lady. She had every right to say what she wanted to say to me. And I just wish I can go back and tell that kid, keep his damn mouth shut. Take it like a man. I'm just so sorry that I ruined that man's life and after his family, his kids, I just wish I could take it back. I could.
You had guns in your parents' home. You had the gun on you.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you start carrying or having guns?
When I was 14.
And why the gun?
In our neighborhood, other kids had guns, and that's kind of scary. I mean, you got other 14 and 15-year-old kids running around with guns, and you get jumped on and beat up at the park and stuff. Well, I got sent to the hospital one night. A group of them sent us to the hospital. I had contusions and multiple contusions and cuts on my body where they beat me up with a baseball bat. And I was like, I don't want that to happen again. Would I would have used it? Probably not. But I probably got myself killed with the dang thing, because I'd have pulled it out and not used it and somebody shot me down.
Did you go to the firing range?
No,
You never had shot. Did you play video games?
Yeah. I mean, I think most kids in the 90s played video games. Yes, ma'am.
So you knew what a gun could do,
Unfortunately, yeah.
and you still chose to. You were on probation. You had robbed a home. Sometimes you hear like that's a wake up call. We see a lot of people. And they'll say, I'm never coming back. Did you have any thoughts like after just even that whole burglary and spending time as a young fellow? Like, yeah, I don't want that kind of.
And they sent me to prison at such a young age. Probably the worst thing that happened to me. Because when I got there, the older guys saw how wild I was as a kid. And I would say kind of groomed me. Like, listen, why are you breaking into houses? Do this. Do this. So when a young person goes to prison, it's more than likely going to hurt them in the long run because they're going to learn so much more than what they're going to learn things they shouldn't learn, is what I'm trying to say. I think it hurts a younger person. I think so. I don't know if I should say this. I'm just going to say it. Don't lock them up. Let them go to the military or something. It'll be a benefit to society. If they're that wild, then let's give them to somebody that can groom them and make them something that can stand up for this country, and do something good. We should always lock our kids up, Yeah, they're struggling. Let's try and fix them, And I'm not saying that's should have done with me. I'm just saying maybe locking them up always ain't the answer.
How old were you?
I just turned 18.
Did you go to boys' school?
Yes, ma'am.
When? How old were you then?
15.
And how long did you stay?
About 8 months. And I got sent to Camp Summit Boot Camp, and I was good for a solid year. I never got in trouble. And I was too young to get sent straight to the military, but I thrived at Camp Summit Boot Camp. Like I needed that. I needed that structure, that love that those drill instructors showed. I needed that. I couldn't function on the street, and I stayed good for a solid year because I felt I would let those guys down, and eventually just the streets got a hold of me again, and I just forgot about them.
At the camp, you
Okay, I got to make some comments here. Look who's here, people. Look who's here. However, you can call this Doodlebug, and I call Doodlebug an emoji. Just, I want to put that out there, okay? We got an understanding. All right. Where's Misty? Misty, where are you? Hi, Misty. How you doing? Now, I want to comment on this here. Okay, the first problem, in my opinion, I'm sure he's nervous in front of, parole board here. He shouldn't just said that person. He should have used that person's name that he unalived, right? Right? So far, I haven't heard of anything that he's done to make himself better. Anything he's done to make him better, like mentally, physically, whatever. Do you guys know what I mean? I hate it when I don't make sense. I make sense in my own mind. But oh, good, you're here. Good. Just making sure. I mean, he's got to be nervous. You can see he's done interviews all over the place. You can find him all over the internet. Okay, just saying, because of that guy, that UK guy, Trevor. Also, oh God, what do I want to say? Okay, I hate to bring this into this live, but I'm going to. Um, I got some messages, and you people know I don't want no problems. Okay, I want to do me in my little corner. If they could send me screenshot of where I can find stuff that's being said about certain people, so I can take it down, could you please send it to me? I can't find what people are asking me because I don't want no problems. Okay, I just want to do me in my own little world. Okay, with my peoples right here. All right. I wish the camera was better. I would zoom in on him, but okay, here we go.
Doing schooling,
Yes, ma'am. It's mandatory. You must go to school. You must make good grades.
and you were doing
Yes, ma'am. Either you make good grades or you become very strong. Uh, it will exercise you beyond belief. Push your body behind limits you didn't think you could be pushed. And I needed that.
schooling, reading, writing, math, science,
I-
that kind of schooling.
Yes, but here's the thing. They gave a drill instructor. I got special attention there. Like I couldn't keep up with my classmates, and if one of us failed, they take it out on everybody. So I was determined to try and do the best I could, and even if I made a poor grade, the drill instructor saw I did the best I could. They wouldn't punish everybody, or everybody be mad at me, And I did the best I could on them tests, and they know that, and I got to graduate with my class.
So you sort of say they let you slide. At least in the academic portion. Maybe the physical part you excel and did well.
Yes.
But you didn't act out. You weren't punching or beating up the teacher.
No, ma'am. Those drill instructors don't put up with that. That's one. Yeah, you don't touch the women there at all. Can't do that.
So then you come back from that setting. In coming back, isn't there a part of you that felt like you had a purpose then afterwards? Like that you felt good?
I couldn't pass that ASVAB test, the test that you go to the recruiter. And I told him I had a felony. He's like, man, I can't help you. I mean, I wanted to leave home and be something good, right? But, just never worked out. And I would think the states would want boys that are a little wild, so you can mold them and say, listen, these are guys that are going to put it on the line for us. These are the guys that's got to go somewhere. They're going to be right there, I just didn't want to die in the street, another statistic, I didn't want to be another loser for my neighborhood. That's what ended up happening.
Mr. Ritchie, I want to go back to the night of the incident. So what made you first and foremost steal the van? Because something started well before the ultimate act. Okay, so you were at a Speedway gas station,
Yes,
correct? Okay, why did you steal the van?
The guys wanted to get some rims off these dope dealers' cars to take back to Ohio, and they didn't want to put them in. They didn't want to put them in the car with us, so a truck or a van to put the rims in, and that's where the van came into play. And we took the van and parked it at an apartment complex, and waited for a little bit until like maybe the cops weren't as aggressively searching for it, and we went back to get it, and that's when the officers pulled in right behind us, and it was like, like everything sped up then. Like, it's like if you had a fast forward button on a movie and you hit the button, everything spin out of control. It's so fast.
And you were just how many months into supervision at that time? 3 months?
Yes, ma'am.
And so how would you describe your supervision period up until those decisions that you were making? What was going on supervision?
I was at IYC. This is embarrassing. I don't even want to say it. I'm just going to do it. I was at IYC and I was in the bathroom and an officer knocked on the door and pointed at me and said, "Come here." He was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm reading a magazine. I'm in the bathroom reading a magazine." He cuffs me up, takes me to lockup for self-mutilation. I do 6 months in the hole for that. I get out. Who is my probation officer? The cop that wrote me up at IYC. I never went back.
So you
I was like,
started-
"Oh man, this guy wrote me up and took 6 months of my good time and for nothing. I'm reading a magazine. I'm just a kid in a prison reading a magazine in the bathroom." And I was like, "I'm not coming back." As soon as I saw him and he saw me, he's like, "How you doing, Mr. Ritchie?" I'm like, "I saw you 6 months sooner. I wasn't in lockup." You know, I don't blame him. I shouldn't have been reading the damn magazine. I don't apologize for that.
You see, you had absconded from supervision.
Yes,
You were
ma'am.
doing-
Yes.
Okay.
I went once and we saw each other and I was like, "I'm not going to go back."
In the time that you were spent in prison, your problem solving skills, when you had issues inside of the facility, did you know who to talk to, who to go to when you felt uncomfortable or indifferent about something?
For about the first 15, 16 years, no. I really struggled. Thank God that they brought a woman here, a mental health lady, that said she wanted to talk to me, and administration goes, "He's not going to talk to you. He ain't talked to nobody in 15, 20 years. He ain't going to talk to you." And I ended up talking to her and she ended up saving me. It was like she pulled me out of a dark hole, and she's so tricky on how she did it. I would never tell anybody how I felt about my emotions or nothing. And she was like, write down 3 songs how you feel. And I'm going to give you 3 songs. And unbeknownst to me, I'm revealing emotions and feelings that I'm going through. I don't even know I'm doing it. And eventually, after a year or two, it starts working and officers start seeing a difference in me. Even the guys on the next row start seeing a difference. Even officers ask me, maybe there's a problem back here, to talk to guys like, "Hey, find out what's going on and try to, let's see if we can fix this before it gets out of hand." Because there's been many, many years that you cannot open none of those doors at the same time because somebody's going to get hurt. Now it ain't like that. It's not like that now. Took 20 something years for it to be calm. And I kind of think maybe I had a little bit to do with it, to make, if I calm down, it's like a pack of animals. If one dog's acting wild and crazy, it's going to stir the other ones up, And if I can get control of myself, maybe those guys will follow suit. And so far, it's been working. But or maybe they've just been working on themselves. I'm not taking no credit for nothing. Maybe they've been working on themselves. I just know that for Dr. Chico, she saved me. And Miss Buss, the head lady here that runs the prison, she saw the difference that she was doing. And I struggle sometimes, but I still go over there and talk to Dr. Utesh. Dr. Utesh is really trying to help continue what Dr. Chico did. I had very poor coping skills. Like, if I couldn't express to you my feelings, I would just lash out verbally or physically, right? And I learned other coping mechanisms to not do that, because you just can't function like that in society or in a prison setting, period. Just makes your time harder. And I'm doing the best I can. Every day's a struggle for me. I do the best I can, and just take it one day at a time.
So just kind of going through some of this stuff, and I think, and like we said, we're very well versed on your case and your life, and have reviewed a lot of materials. So I think we can all agree a lot of things happened to you as a baby, as a child, as a young man that we would not have liked to have happened to you. And you had a hard time with a lot of that. So as you've kind of gone through this, you've identified a couple points in your life where there's been a crossroads and you took the wrong road. Okay. So we're at one of those crossroads now, and you're telling us you've learned coping skills. So if the governor were to commute your sentence and you were in general population for the rest of your life, how can anybody be assured that you've taken the correct fork in the crossroads, right? Because you had this school that you went to, the camp, you did great for a year, right? And then you backslid.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you go a couple of years down the road, you're, a young adult, you're able to, physically get yourself out of the neighborhood. You move to Columbus, Ohio. You have a chance to be out of the environment around those people, places, and things that are getting you in trouble. And you're driving here in the middle of the night to get into trouble. Okay, back to Indiana. So I think we can all acknowledge you're capable of the progress, but what assurance can you give about where you are now that you would be able to live a productive life as a member of the prison community and not be detracting?
I hear what you're saying. And I have deferred to the wrong road multiple times. My decision skills were below par as a young man. I'm 44 years old now. I turned 44 a couple days ago. I can definitely say I'm not that young man I was then. Am I rehabilitated? No. It's hard to be rehabilitated in Indiana State Prison. You gotta have to do that yourself. If you want to be rehabilitated, you gotta do it yourself. And for many years now, I've been working on myself hard. I can't take a GED test, but I study those books like they're getting ready to come tomorrow. And it's the last night to cram for it. I'm trying to better myself every day. I wake up every day and try to do something positive for myself or someone else. That's all I can do is take it one day at a time. I'm just not that kid I was 25 years ago. That kid was lost. He needed guidance. And I have guidance now. I have a strong, positive family unit now. Something I didn't have back then. I have people that talk to me every day and help me every day cope with the things I do in here. It's taxing. I've lived a life for 25 years. I'm wore out. I just know I'm not that kid I was 25 years ago. I would never hurt anybody again. In 25 years, I've never attacked a CO at one time. I verbally said things that maybe should never been said, but I never acted upon those ever because I didn't want that family to feel what that family felt.
But you have had problems with other areas.
All right, I need to take a break of that. I just hear word salad. Okay, now we'll take a break from this and we're going to go somewhere else. We are going to go to the foreigner, the Swedish girl that is in love with him. I don't think they're still together though, because he had more than one girl. Okay, that I do know, because that's just the way it is. Here she is, the Swedish girl. Here we go. She talks really, really slow. Really slow. Ivana.
3 to 4 years.
How did you meet him?
Actually, I didn't meet him. I saw him on a documentary on YouTube, and
Oh my God.
I decided to write him a letter. And he responded, and one thing led to another, and I went to visit
sorry.
him, and we just fell.
Okay, let me tell you people something. Am I muted? Hold on. No, I'm not. Why? I want to know, ladies from overseas, okay? I'm not a hater, okay? I'm not a hater of people, okay? I'm haters of people's actions, okay? That hurt me. All right. I mean, I don't hate. I just dislike and disappointed. Okay, foreigners, people overseas, ladies, why do you write to the men on death row in the United States? Don't you have that in your own country? I'm just asking for a friend. Could you put it in the comments? If anybody is watching this at a later time or replay, please put in the comments why ladies from overseas write to the men in the United States and fall in love with them. However, they're not in their own countries. Well, you can go wherever you want, just saying. But I don't know. I find it strange. Take care of the people in your country. If you want to fall in love with somebody, do it with somebody in your own country. You know what I mean? So you can go see them, right? Right? Here, I'm trying to fix this here. There we go. All right, so Ivana. We're going to continue with Ivana. She talks very slow.
In love.
So you flew from Sweden to Indiana.
Exactly.
How many times did you go to see him?
Over 10 times.
God.
So we had every time I went to see him, we had a week scheduled, so we could meet the whole week. We had visits the whole week for the whole day.
Oh, you'd be able to see him for the entire day?
Yeah, until 4 o'clock.
Even though he's on death row?
Yeah, because I was a long distance traveler.
Oh, I see. And what was he on death row for?
He's on death row for killing a cop officer.
A police officer?
Police officer. He was running from the cop, and he figured if he would shoot some bullets back at him, he would stop chasing him. But unfortunately, the bullets hit the cop, and he passed away. So, yeah.
So he's in there for life?
Yeah.
What was it? How old were you when you met him?
I was
Okay.
23, I think.
Okay, so Mark says he's in there for life. She goes, yep. No, he's on death row. He's always been on death row. See, she doesn't even know what she's thinking. She's confused by lust, not love. I'm really shocked because I haven't watched this whole thing and in detail because she talks too slow for me. I have this even speeded up. I should speed it up just a little more. She came to the United States 10 times to see him. I wonder if she's the girl that he had relations for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Because he said the model type. Because this girl is pretty. I must say. She is pretty. Hold on, let me speed this up a little more.
$24, maybe.
What attracted you to?
Oh,
his name is Benjamin?
That's too much.
What attracted you to Benjamin?
Sorry, that's too much. Let me fix it. Sorry. Let's try this. Sorry. Ah!
I can't put it in words. It was just a feeling he gave me when I saw him the first time.
It's a feeling,
and when
people.
I looked into his eyes, I just felt.
This is the pink salt recipe that
no.
took me from 179 to 126 in just weeks. You know what the best part is? It's natural.
So sorry, people.
I just felt that I wanted to be with him forever. And I don't know what, yeah, that's all I can say.
Even though he's behind bars, you still wanted a relationship with him?
Yeah, my thinking was I couldn't imagine a life without him. So it was either be with him or die with him. So
What?
You fell in love hard. What were the qualities in Benjamin that you liked?
She don't even know.
I like how kind he is, and some things. He has some things that I can relate to. He's similar to me in a way.
See?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you feel like he was misunderstood?
Yes.
And do you think you maybe understood him better than most people?
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if this girl, which I doubt it, I'm speculating, did any research on this guy. I wonder if she read the court documents of his case. Okay. No, she just seen him on YouTube. So she reached out to him. Doesn't, to me, that says a lot about that person. And it's kind of scary if you think about it. I do it because I have questions. So yes, I do go to the convicted, the inmate, whatever it may be. But I'm not out there trying to have relationships. Just saying. This girl doesn't even know. She must be lonely. Obviously, they're not together no more. So let's continue with Ivana.
What was your childhood like? You grew up in what city in Sweden?
Yeah, I was born in Bosnia.
Oh, you were?
During the war there. And when I was 2 years old, my family moved to Sweden. And we moved a lot. We moved a lot around Sweden. And
I'd like to thank BetterHelp for being a sponsor of today's video.
Oh, no.
I think a lot of my viewers are going
No.
through things, just like we all are, whether you're
Sorry,
a viewer or
Mark.
not of this channel. I
Sorry,
think
Mark.
everybody go or click on the link in the video description box below.
Bosnia, and they experienced a lot of stuff with my dad.
See?
He was an alcoholic, and he was in prison a lot, and he used to beat up my mom, my sisters, and he used to be gone for like a lot of days and just
Okay.
come back and just tear up the house. And my mom was
This girl don't need somebody from death row. She needs therapy. Just saying. All right. Let's go back to the Clemency. I got to go back and forth, people. All right. Let's go back to that.
That's correct.
Yes, ma'am.
So talk us through that, because we're not just sitting here worried about, what happens to the COs if he's in general population. We don't want anything bad to happen to anybody.
Yes,
Governor doesn't want anything bad to happen to anybody.
Yes, ma'am.
So how are you going to deal with those situations? Because, you will be surprised to learn that a lot of people in this setting are going to be hopeless, are going to be reckless. It's not going to be an easy environment to be in. So we need to know about, we want to know about those things that you've learned, the decision-making, the coping skills that you've discussed with us. We want to know specifically what you learned and how you live your life.
Being on a lockup unit and being in population is two different things. The lockup unit I'm on, and most of the lockup units are super small. And you must interact with the men you don't like every day. You have to. There's just going to be chaos. So you have to learn how to gel with each other. Even if you don't like each other, you must coexist. And then population is way bigger out there. If I don't like this person, I can go this way or over there. You know, it's way different. And in the world, it's even bigger. You know, there's more space. But if I can control myself in a lockup unit where guys don't like each other, but yet we coexist and day-to-day operations go smoothly, that's all I can do. I do the best I can every day. And in population, I have way more opportunities. Like they're building the new prison, right? They have school classes. That's another thing I could do. I mean, I crave education now. I need it because you're not going to be nothing in society without an education. And that's why I keep telling my stepkids, my stepdaughter Shiloh, you need education, you need it, because you'll struggle your whole life without it. You will live check to check, paycheck to paycheck, and you'll struggle your whole life. You need that education. And that I crave that now. Took 20 something years to figure that out, but I figured it out finally that I need that, right? And I struggle hard. Like, I wish I could get a tutor, but they won't allow a tutor on next row. And you can't take the test without 19 hours of tutoring.
Do you have access to any programming?
No, ma'am. I asked Miss Buss and she immediately got me those GED books. And I kind of did something wrong. It says don't write in the GED books, but I knew they would never get them back. So I just wrote in them. I tried to do the best I could. Just, that's just one thing I wanted to do, just try and get some kind of a diploma for my parents, you know. I've never done anything good in my life. I've learned how to tattoo and cut hair. And I would try to get a job in a barber shop if I could get the population, because I've learned how to cut. I cut all the guys' hair on next row, because sometimes they don't allow people up there with us. So I cut everybody's hair, and I butchered a few people along the way. But I figured it out, and that's what I could contribute to a prison population. I could cut hair, just keep learning new things. Every time I went to lockup, I tried to talk to a young person. We have a bad drug problem here. It's bad. It's real bad. And every young person I meet, I try to talk to them. Like, hey man, you got a job. You're getting ready to go. You can go home. Some of us ain't never gonna go home. We're gonna die here. And every young person I meet, I try to help. I wish I had that guy that pulled me to the side, you know, because they're not gonna listen to guys in suits. They're gonna listen to the old convict, washed up, tattooed. It's been there. It's seen it. It's done it. And maybe I might talk to 100 guys, but just maybe one guy it sink in. It might sink in. The guy was getting released before I was getting ready to come in here. I was like, do the right thing, man. Make good choices. You got a second chance, man. He shook his head and walked out. I try to do positive things now. I was so bent on destroying other people's lives. Only thing I can do is try to give back now. That's it.
Mr. Ritchie, Clemency's that I've going in 8 years, and I usually ask this question, so I'm gonna be consistent.
Sir.
I know your circumstances are a little different, what your sentence is, but I always ask, what would you say to the family, and in this case, or here, or the people close to them, what would your reason be? What would you tell them of why they shouldn't carry out your sentence?
What I did was horrible, but it's a blessing because William Tony's life could best be served me helping other guys not reoffend. It's horrible that he lost his life. There's not a day goes by I don't wish I couldn't take it back. Me helping other screw ups not reoffend, not come back to Indiana's prisons. I think his life could best be served that way. I'm
Okay,
never gonna go home if you guys do save me. I'm never gonna go home.
I gotta make a comment. I don't. Why is he talking about other people not coming back to the prison? This ain't making any sense. Okay, I know he's nervous, but he's on death row. He has a death warrant. He's talking about other people. I don't even think he knows what he's talking about. But that's just me speculating, in my opinion. I don't know. Okay, let's watch this for a second. This is one of the first interviews he did. Hold on a minute. And the link is in the chat.
I was going to run something all the way through.
Camera roll on
12 are due to be executed on the orders of the state.
Hi.
For 2 weeks, I was given privileged access
Okay, here's Ritchie, right here. I think this is one of the first ones he did.
to this dark and forbidding world.
Stealing cookies as a 7-year-old boy in school, turned into a 20-year-old killing a cop, landing himself on death row. It went from stealing cookies to shooting a cop.
Welcome to Indiana State Prison.
Okay. Let's find the interview with him. Let's skip. Sorry, guys, we're going to skip. And let me tell you something. If you watch this documentary, Indiana does have some creepy people on death row that really, really deserve it. I mean, you got ones that are, one guy, cannibalism. Ugh. Okay, let's get to Benjamin Ritchie. Da, 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 da. Why? Give me a minute. Give me a minute. We're gonna get there. This guy's kind of cool. No, it's not cool to take somebody's life. I don't want people to, take what I say out of context here. Why? Did he save him for last? I don't know. All right, never mind. Sorry. What a waste. I wasted your time. So sorry. I'm sorry. All right.
I'm okay with that. But if I'm in here trying to help guys not reoffend, come back to this system, it was for the good.
Why would you think they'd listen to you? That's a part of me, I mean,
Maybe
I
they
would
will.
hope.
Maybe they will.
I wonder if, a 20-year-old Benjamin Ritchie would be listening to you and just see.
I would think I have touched a life or two here. There's some kids that are hopeless here, that have nothing, And if some old man that's been through it, just hope they would listen to it. Because they see where I'm at. Like, you can get lower than this.
Okay, I'm confused.
I'm just really the proof. If you don't straighten up, you will look at your family through the other side of these bars for the rest of your life.
Okay, I'm confused. I thought when you're on death row, and I know, and I could be wrong. You're not put on out on You're not in general pop. There's an area. What is he talking about? Is there other people? Is he talking about young guys that come in? I don't know.
Tell us about your faith.
It wavers from time to time. Sometimes I feel like I pray to him and he's got me on caller ID and he's like, oh my God, this guy again, But it gets stronger as the older I get, you know. The older you get, I guess your faith gets stronger. I mean, when you're young and wild, you really don't believe in nothing. As we all get older, I guess, you have to turn to something. And I've done every other way. Why not this way?
What's it look like?
Sometimes lonely. Sometimes I feel alone. And my mom always say, just pray. You know, even my friend who has 3 murders, he's not on death row. He's population. He's like, bro, just pray. Just pray to the man. Just pray. He'll help you. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to be one of those fake Christians that only pray to God when you need his help. And I know a lot of people do that. They only pray when they want a favor. I think there's a song out there that someone sings. It's like that, right? I don't want to be that person. So I struggle sometimes with prayer. But you're not going to get nowhere if you don't try sometimes, you know? So I just try to take it day by day and just ask him to give me strength to make it through one more day, you know?
Do you have a Bible? Is there an
Yes, ma'am.
opportunity
Yeah.
in your area to?
If they don't allow us to go to church, and used to allow Kairos, they used to allow them to come in here. And they would have feasts and stuff on extra. I wouldn't participate because I don't want to eat your guys' food and sing your songs and pretend I'm something I'm not. And a guy named Virgil Noble was like, listen, man, you don't have to do nothing. Just eat the food and just listen. You got to do nothing. And that's what I did. I just didn't want to be fake or pretend just to get some good food to eat. And he wore me down. You know, I would come when they would, I would come and participate with them. Yeah, I didn't want to come off as a fake, like most guys. It's participating to see something to eat.
Can you describe I've read a lot of things, childhood, that type of thing. But can you just give us a short version of your recall when you were a really young child?
It wasn't very good. I don't blame people for what they've done, you know. Just a lot of kids have rough childhoods and they don't do something horrible like this. I don't know what made me different. I don't blame nobody for what happened to me. It's just it's in the cards that was dealt to me. I just got to just deal with it. I just wish no kid would have to go through what I did.
Is there anything specific that you'd like to share though about kind of the collective years when you were younger, positive, negative?
I guess the first part of the first 5 or 6 years was pretty rough. Then it got better, but here's the thing. When we get mad at our kids and they do something we don't like, we can usually give them a spanking. Don't do that, you know, show them that we're displeased with them, right? But then when someone displeases a kid that's been beat on and he lashes back out physically, you say, that's not right. Don't do that. You're not supposed to hit the other kid. But then when you get home, you get a whooping. It's just, I feel like we're on a wheel that just is like a contradiction. Don't do this, but we do it. You know, like kids have been physically beaten and hurt. Maybe we shouldn't whoop them when we get angry with them. Maybe we shouldn't give them spankings. You should figure something else out because we're just reinstilling that violence is the answer. I had a pretty good childhood once I got with Werner and Oscar Ritchie, but I just never felt like I belonged. They did their best. They weren't educated enough to know how to take care of a kid that's been through what I've been through. I don't blame them. They were great parents. Wonderful. It just wasn't in the cards for me.
I know you've touched, while we've been sitting here talking about, the ups and downs over the past 25 years or whatever. What do you think really truly was your turning point since you've been here incarcerated? To think, because I mean, yeah, you've had some ups and downs. You've had conduct, it hasn't been perfect, but at some point you had to have had some kind of change. You just, that old saying, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. So can you bring a point forward for the board where you really like something just changed in you? Where you really just decided that I don't want to get in trouble and I want to do the right thing and I want to be helpful to people around me.
Dr. Christina Chico,
Okay.
her and Miss Buss really worked hard. I was on a list for a long time at this prison, the top 10 dangerous men at this prison. And that hurt me because I knew I would never hurt one of these people. So why am I on this list? So I had to change how I talked, how I behaved, how I portrayed myself. It took a few years, but I got off that list. That was one of my greatest accomplishments. That made me feel good. It made Miss Buss feel good. It made Dr. Christina Chico feel good. Now I got 2 ladies I cannot let down. So now I have to, every day I have to get up and do the right thing, because if I don't, I'm gonna let these ladies down. And one lady runs to prison and she could really make your life tough. And she will. I just figured it's a lot simpler to go with her program and keep doing it.
All right, so let's go back to the Sweden girlfriend. Oh my God, listen to that noise. I'm so sorry, people. Okay, here she is. Here's Ivana.
Working 2 jobs. She had a tough time. And having 3 kids. And then me on the way. It was tough for her. And the thing is that the morning when we were supposed to leave to Sweden, my dad was sleeping because the night before he was drinking,
Okay.
so he was sleeping the morning we were supposed to leave.
We don't want to hear about her life. I want to hear about.
Are you really going to miss this?
We do this training once a year. There's 800,000 to 1 million people that'll join us, and it's not.
So you could just leave me, and I would just sit there and play by myself.
Violence in the house.
Mm-hmm. Like 11, I think.
And how old?
It's Iris. And stop talking.
Okay, here we go.
Relationship.
Yeah. Her name is Iris.
Okay, let me mute this.
And she's the reason.
Now let me tell you something. This lady chose a man on death row over her own child. Let me repeat. She chose a man in death row over her child.
Reason I changed my life, because after everything with Benjamin, when we stopped talking, the reason why we stopped talking was because the whole time when we were talking, we had a plan to break him out. I was supposed to hijack a helicopter.
Okay, pay attention, you guys. Pay attention. Their plan of action, she was going to break him out of prison.
And break him out. That was our plan.
You were going to break him out of prison?
Yeah.
And who's going to fly the helicopter?
Well, there were places around there that you could hire a ride, and yeah. Anyway, we talked about this for a long time, and that was what I was imagining it to be. I was imagining it to happen like that. But
Was that a plan or just a fantasy?
well, for me, it was a plan. We before we got him a cell phone in the prison, but before that, we had like secret messages. We had like a system to write secret messages to each other in the letters. So that's how we were planning, and also on the visits. But yeah, it was a plan. It was. And then in the end, he told me he didn't want to risk my life for him getting out. And that's when I went like crazy, because my whole plan for my life was to be with him. And when he told me that, I just started doing opiates.
See, how sad is that? Then she started using. Look at how these inmates get into these lonely women's heads. And this is what I've been stressing about a certain inmate for almost a year. It's going to be a year, but nobody was listening to me. They were worried about other things. They mess with women's heads. Okay, there's always more than one. All right, this is sad because she didn't get to see her daughter. She's going to break them out of prison. Then she started. Look at how she. And then we're watching this clemency hearing, right? And then we're hearing about all this that he's done. This is crazy. He has never changed.
Things I was. Dr. Christina Chico, Miss Bus, Don Bus, they saved me. They saw something worth saving, and they didn't give up on me. And I can't thank those two ladies enough.
And Miss Bus is still, I know Miss Dr. Chico no longer
No, ma'am.
is with the person.
No, ma'am. But Miss Bus is. And she saved me.
Understand why you were on that list?
My words, my mouth, my loud mouth. Yes, ma'am.
But I mean, you had physical altercations in your time too, correct?
Never with an officer.
Not with an officer, but with other.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sometimes it's error.
Can you understand that your actions can, even if you know that's not who you are deep down or whatnot, you acknowledge that you got yourself on that.
Yes, ma'am.
And I mean, we're kind of talking about accountability, so I'm gonna just kind of bring that full circle. Okay, clemency is just a very small part of what we do. We deal with offenders with reentry, doing revocation and review hearings for their parole. And we really emphasize accountability and transparency, right? Because we are not like judicial judges. We are just trying to, make the best decision, make the best recommendations for those reentry goals or what have you, in this case, a clemency consideration. So in the spirit of just being totally honest, transparent, and taking accountability, talking about that night and the decision that you made. And there's been a lot of discussion from you, from your past attorneys, and from other people around you that this was just a horrible accident. And there were 12 people that said, no, it wasn't. He did this on purpose. He made a conscious decision to end this man's life. So as you sit here today, this board wants to know what happened from your perspective, what your decision was.
That night in that backyard, me and that officer got in a shootout. Shots were fired from both of us. and I ended up hitting and killing him. Oh, no. That is, it's something I gotta live with every day. And, I just wish I could take that back. I don't blame him, though. He was doing his job. I should have never been in a stolen car. I should have never had a gun. Should just did the right thing when I got out.
So when he was chasing you, did you turn and look at him
Yes, ma'am.
and shoot?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you learn he has a wife. He has a 4-year-old, an 18-month-old, 2 daughters. And he took this shift, if I read correctly. It wasn't even his shift. He was
Volunteer.
just helping out. Such a broken world. Can you imagine what it was like for them not to have their dad? I mean, they don't even probably have really any recollection. It's their mom that shares or their grandmother.
My
shares
my
with
heart
kind
goes
of-
out to them every day.
18 months. And he was just trying to do his job.
Yes, ma'am.
It's just trying to do his job. Keep people safe. I suspect he probably would have cared about you too. Those are the kind of police officers I know.
Yes, ma'am.
He would have wanted to try and help you. Try to come beside you. Figure out how he could potentially be in that. I bet there were others out there. And I get it, you weren't in a spot, you were so,
Stupid.
yeah, you were a kid.
When did you start kind of dealing with the feelings that you're feeling now, the guilt and acknowledging? Because I assume it's to some extent you probably lied to yourself for a while that you didn't do this intentionally, but it seems like you've acknowledged that. So at what point did you start to think about all the people that you affected and changing your behavior to conform to that?
Dr. Christina Chico.
So it took, I mean,
It took a doctor to break through.
but that, you said, how long was that after you were here?
I've been there 18 years, like 15, 18 years.
Because I think you acknowledged at the beginning of the hearing your actions after the crime were
Not very good.
completely horrible.
Yeah. Was not a very good person as a young man. That person needed to be put down. Person I was. Just took someone. They even told her, don't, he's not going to talk to you. He's not going to talk to you. He don't talk to none of us. And she didn't give up. And Miss Bus didn't give up.
So it would be fair to say that since you received that type of breakthrough with someone who's able to get you to the point where you can take ownership, begin to work on self-accountability. I'm a firm believer in growing where we were planted, okay? As in, you know, being a part of the process as a part of being a part of the problem. And as we said, we've already established, you know, obviously you had some conflict issues, okay? We won't keep hashing that up. And I see, you know, the last, you know, and some things like that. And how you want to move forward and how you want to try to help other people. And I will say this for you is that there are a lot of studies in data that does prove the simple fact that the type of influences people are surrounded by. The average person who really didn't know anything about your situation, didn't know anything about the victim's family, anything, just picked up something and read it to see that, oh my goodness, you know, look at everything you were exposed to way back then. And there's going to be another group of people who say, well, yeah, there are other people who also experienced, if not the same type of dysfunction in your life at such an early age, and some of those folks made it. You know, if we all had the magic answer there, none of us would be here. We'd all be very, very wealthy somewhere on a remote island and doing like that. With that being said, you know, just sometimes we don't know why some people don't know when to stop. You know, and for me, I know that when the shots were fired back and forth, you know, if I read and did my studies correctly here, the officer fired once, he fired 3 or 4 times. So once you fired them one time, and that was one too many, we can all admit that. Not beating a dead horse and certainly not trying to break you down and really trying to build you up. Okay. Is that I just wish you had stopped then, because something I was hoping, you know, my thing is, man, something should have went off then that I've gone way too far with this. But again, hurt people hurt people. Broken people do not know how to, they don't understand their boundaries because there are no boundaries. Certain people at that point in life. So I think it is fair to say, I'm glad that you got something going better in your favor. And that you are not being a menace to society here and being a problem you could be in this environment. Okay. One final thing for me, and we tend to ask this for everything, your Clemency is just a little different because we know what the sentence was. Out of all the clemencies that the governor could consider, all the decisions he can make, we'll simply put, why should he not uphold your sentence? And turn it around and let you spend life in prison instead.
I'd be better served trying to fix and help other prisoners. I've been here so long. Everybody knows who I am. I think I could help us save some of these guys. I know my life's over, either which way it goes. But I can spend the rest of the time I do have helping and destroying, building up, then destroying, tearing down. That's all I can offer. I just offer my word and maybe the chance to help fix other men. Because we got a bad recidivism problem in Indiana. Like these in and out, in and out, in and out. I'm attested to that. We need to fix that. We learn our men trades before we release them. Teach them something that they can, when they get out of here, they can give back. Instead of going back to the same neighborhood, the same street, the same friends. Now they got a trade. Now they have a chance. Can't just release our guys. We gotta teach them. There's a different way to what you've been doing. That's what I want to try to do. This new prison, state of the art. They got
All right. He's quite the talker. Okay. He has ruined a family. He has ruined anybody else that has come into his life. Um, Women that have written him. Now, I want the women to pay attention, especially the ones that, okay, you got women out there that have podcasts and stuff about death row inmates and love and all that. Listen to this girl that I'm showing, Ivana, and how her whole life got wrecked because she made some bad choices to involve herself with a death row inmate. Okay. And I'm really disappointed right now because I'm trying to find, I want you to hear the family side. Okay. The story about the police officer. There's a family right there. However, when I go to the link that these news stations put, it's not there. It's not there. I went to several different kinds. And then you got people under the pictures of the family that are saying, I stand with Ritchie. I stand with Ritchie. You people are weird. You people are weird.
Classes and stuff there. First thing I would do is get in those classes. If I'm a better person, I can help other people. I got to work on myself first. I got a lot more to work on. That's all I want to do is just trying to stop guys from coming back.
Some would say that being put to death would demonstrate, teach others that you don't touch the cow. And maybe police officers get saved. I don't know. Maybe you won't be here to know. Maybe you'll know in your eternal home. But maybe your greatest gift will be saving officers you don't even know. I don't know. I mean,
If that's the case, I'd be okay with it too. As long as I give back. I've taken so much. Whatever I can do to give back, that's what I'll do.
but ultimately you are set free with your faith.
Yes, ma'am.
It doesn't matter what any of us that you have, I am assuming, have, as you said, you're sorry to the family here. I truly think you both want that. And I think you've asked for forgiveness. And I think it's important that you know that in asking in your faith, you have received it.
Amen.
Yeah. Anything, give us a second to put your thoughts together. Do you have some closing comments?
That I apologize to the officer's family and to his wife. I should have never said what I said to her in court. She had every right to say what she needed to say and more. I apologize. My heart.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
We will next Monday gather down at the State Government Center. And then upon that, we'll take our time to ultimately make our recommendation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
You too. Thank you.
I'm sorry. This is disgusting. You know what else is really disgusting to me? There is no news articles of this family talking. All that comes up is that girl from Sweden and him. all the interviews he has done. And every link that I went to go where the family spoke about things, it's nothing. So what we're going to do, let's see. Is this the one I want to watch? Shoot, hold on. Yeah, I think that's the one I want to watch. Hold on. We're going to see what the cop looked like. Right here. His name is Tony, by the way.
2000, the 19-year-old Ritchie ran from a stolen van in a Beech Grove neighborhood. Officer Bill Tony pursued him. Ritchie turned back and shot Tony 5 times, killing the 31-year-old husband and father of 2 girls. Tony's wife, mother, sister, and daughter were among the people at the Clemency hearing.
I ruined my life and other people's lives, and I'm so sorry for that night. If I could go back and just shake that kid,
Jesus.
because he wouldn't have listened to nobody, I'm telling you, you're about to really screw things up here, man. You're about to go somewhere you can't fix. You can't take back what you did.
He sentence in 2002. He sat on death row while the state halted executions for 15 years. Now he is scheduled to die by lethal injection May 20th. He's asking instead to spend the rest of his life in prison doing something positive.
William Tony's life could best be served me helping other guys not reoffend.
No, you keep being bad in prison, Benjamin. That's what you have been doing. You've been wrecking other people's lives outside of prison. Okay? You are breaking rules in prison. You have been in in the hole quite a few times. So we're going to go to the cops page, Officer Dell Memorial page, William Ronald Tony, okay? End of watch was February 29, 2000. So sad. Let's see. Okay, so here you go, people. Let me share this. Oh, you know what, people? Look at this. Hey, people, look at. You can go to this page. Let me share this. And you can send this to the parole board, a letter. And it's all ready to go. I'm doing it. All you got to do is do your name. Okay? And then send it. Okay? This guy does not deserve it. Okay? And that's my humble opinion. Well, do whatever you want. But this is what you can do. I'm showing you. So actually, all you got to do is copy and paste, people. Let's see. Yeah. Generate letter for printing. Okay, I'm going to do that later. Sorry. There's a link to that. He didn't say anything immediately. He did not say the victim's name. He did not say any of the family's names. He said that person. That was a human being. Okay? See, look at those eyes. Okay? He is still that little kid. He's still that 19-year-old kid. I don't care what he says. By all the interviews I have seen him do, because he's done many. Yeah. All right, so let's go to the Sweden girl that she let him wreck her life.
I got a taste of the opiates when I did a surgery. And I continued. And then I met a drug dealer that dealed heroin. And that was much cheaper than the pills I was taking. So I was with this guy just for the drugs.
You got addicted to heroin?
Okay.
Yeah,
This was after you separated from Benjamin?
we were talking.
Okay. Oh. Let's see. What else does she say about him?
Can't imagine being with someone else.
See, she's still. Look at this, you guys.
In Sweden. That might make a better partner than a death row inmate in Indiana.
Yeah, I know. But when I fall in love, I can't imagine being with someone else. Like, I don't see anyone else but that person I'm in love with.
Yeah, that's common. But just the ability to be like, when you first noticed, like, all right, so this guy's in prison, this is going to be a lot of work. You saw that at some point, but you went forward anyway?
Today we are setting up this Chick-fil-A employee for anything she wants. You could pick any item you want.
Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you the link to that if you want to watch the whole interview. This girl is so confused. She is still in love with Benjamin. This is crazy. Hi, Ella. This is crazy, people. So there's that. I mean, you all, we all have our opinions, and since this is my channel, I give my opinion. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't mean I'm right. This is just my opinion and my feelings on the matter. Okay? Nobody's talking about the cop and his family. He didn't even talk about him, right? So sad. Hold on a minute. Sorry, you guys. I gotta get some new headphones because these are the ones I have are broken and cheap. If anybody knows some good headphones, like where you cannot hear what's going on around me, right? Let me know in the comments, please. Also, let me do a rewind here real quick, people. Tonight I'm going to be going live again. Okay. On Patreon only. I finally, yesterday, got the documents, and they're from the end of March up until, I know for sure, May 7th. But I haven't read them all because I like to read them when I'm actually doing the live. Okay. That's just how I am. So there we go. We got that. And as we know, I did a live the other day about Letitia is not at Kansas City DOC anymore. She's in Colorado. And I said that I was going to reach out to Letitia, which I did because that's what I do. And she did reach back to me, and I got to respond. Okay. Okay, what else did I want to say? I want to thank everybody for being here. I got some things to do. I'll be taking a little tiny break because I'm going to be taking a road trip, you guys. Okay? Tomorrow I'm taking a road trip. Want to know why? I'm going to tell you why. There is a teacher messing with my grandson. So I'm going to go have a conversation with the teacher. Just saying. You do not pick on a child with autism. Shame, such a shame. Shame, shame, shame. My daughter told me, right? Oh, she knows what grandma's going to do. Grandma's going to show up. Grandma's going to show up at the school. That's right. My little buddy, my little sweet boy, Dawson. Okay. You get to a school, right, that there's a vacuum. I mean, there's just one school, and it's, kindergarten to 12th grade. It's that tiny, right? One school. Obviously, they need to be educated there and be nice to the children with autism. That's all right. Things are going to happen. I'm going to go up there. Okay. Poor grandson. You don't mess with my grandkids. But I'm just going to have a conversation, people. That's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to make sure these people get some education because I'm going to contact somebody. Not just with the district. I'm going to go higher up than that because they all cover each other's backs. See, that's what grandmas do. Protect the children at all costs. Oh, my poor neck. But I'm still doing my exercise, people. Let me tell you, oh my God. So hard. It's been so hard this last week, right? But I'm doing 2 miles a day on the treadmill. Or I go for a walk with Nala. And let's see, when I walk with Nala, we go for about an hour or so, but she gets tired, so then I feel bad. And so I let her cool off her little paws and get a drink. And if she wants to go again, we'll go again. Let's see, what else did I want to say? So 8 p.m. Central Time tonight on Patreon only, because I'm not going to let anybody take my channel from me because I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing what I do with any other person. However, people got a problem with a certain individual, inmate. It blows me away. See, they don't know who I am though and what I do. Love you too. So anyways, I'm going to go. I got some things to do. I want to thank everybody for coming through. And Benjamin Ritchie does not deserve clemency. I didn't hear any kind of remorse. He didn't address the family. He couldn't say the victim's name. Right away, I'm like, oh, I see where it's going. And as we see, he takes advantage of women from overseas, and wreck their lives too. Well, she made that choice too. However, you see what he did here? And then he kept her strangling her around because he knew that she was in so much love with him. So much love, she couldn't let him go. But she has now. All right, everybody. I will see you later.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. It's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me make it, they don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I won't get back up, 'cause I don't deserve a thing, and the road ahead is